Looking at the map of the Earth, one very interesting part catches the eye: the southernmost tip of Africa. This area seemingly connects the Eastern Sea to the Western Sea and appears to be the best place for passage. However, in reality and in the vastness of the ocean, this movement is equivalent to entering hell. A hell of water, gambling with the life of anyone who has ever reached this place, stepped foot here, or arrived by ship. They have witnessed a feast of relentless storms, terrifying and unpredictable ocean currents, and tempests unlike anything anyone has seen anywhere else, sights they could never forget. The legendary Cape of Good Hope is a name given to this place in a deceptively lying and optimistic manner, while its true reputation is quite the opposite. The story of this route dates back to 1488, when the Portuguese explorer Bartolomeu Dias became the first European to circumnavigate the African continent at this southernmost tip of the planet's landmass. Upon seeing the horrific storms and waves several meters high, he named this area the Cape of Storms. However, the King of Portugal at the time, John II, decided to change this name and called it the Cape of Good Hope instead. The goal was to show others that this was the best route for trade. But those who were forced to come here realized that this name was a lie and a deception, used to gain advantages and fuel maritime corruption. This cape is exactly where the Atlantic and Indian Oceans meet in a terrifying fashion, creating massive and horrific winds. They do not blow in just one direction, rather, they constantly shift. In winter, in the southern hemisphere, cold air fronts from the Atlantic pass through this region with fierce storms, adding rain, fog, and massive waves to the situation. Imagine the survival chances of a 16th century sailor or ship. It is more like winning the Powerball lottery, nearly zero. But the real danger did not end there. This region is the meeting point of two ocean currents, the cold Benguela current from the Atlantic and the warm Agulhas current from the Indian Ocean. This collision, instead of calm, creates chaos, massive and rebellious storms, and waves several meters high. These waves can be the worst and tallest waves ever seen in the ocean, taller than multi-story buildings. Sailors who have seen this place said they saw walls of water appearing out of nowhere, lasting for days and nights, and a rogue wave that never died down, dragging a clear and obvious journey toward total destruction. But what about the ship graveyard? A few kilometers to the east lies another cape, Cape Agulhas, which is even more notorious. This is the southernmost point of Africa and features shallow waters along with very hard, high cliffs, hidden rocks, and sandbars that appear out of nowhere and change direction every day. For this reason, sailors avoided the ship graveyard for centuries. In recent years, hundreds of shipwrecks have been discovered at the bottom here, including ships filled with gold, porcelain, and spices that never reached Europe. The bones of the ships are here, screaming and acting as a warning sign: do not enter. In the Age of Discovery, 15th to 17th centuries, many ships passed through here and many sank, naming this cape the game of fear and gambling. You could either become wealthy by transporting silk and jewels or perish forever in the sea. This is why terrifying stories are told here, including the famous legend of the Flying Dutchman, condemned to haunt this cape forever. Navigating a ship through all these dangers without satellites, GPS, or weather forecasting using only a worn-out wooden ship from the 16th century truly reduced the chance of passage to zero. But eventually, someone thought of a new idea: let's build a shortcut. In 1869, the Suez Canal in Egypt was opened, connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. Ships traveling between Europe and Asia no longer had to endure the storm lottery of the Cape of Death. Today, this canal accounts for 12% to 15% of all global maritime trade, with millions of ships passing through annually. Yet, there is an even worse area, Cape Correndes in Mozambique. Sailors who passed through here named it the ship-devouring monster. Its name literally means the Cape of Horrific Currents because the seawater here swirls with terrifying force, enough force to toss ships around like toys. It is said that up to 30% of all ships that passed through here were destroyed at this very cape. Sailing around Africa through these strange corridors is not only dangerous but also extremely expensive. More days at sea means more food, more water, more crew, and losing a ship in a storm costs billions of dollars. So much so that insurance companies fear covering such journeys or ships in such locations because the probability of an incident is high, very high, and paying such insurance claims is very costly. Even today, with modern radar, weather forecasting, GPS, and many other things, crossing these capes in strange regions is not easy. Many try to avoid paying Suez Canal tolls and thus step into such places, only to face storms and strange events that even weather technology and GPS cannot calm. Anyone who has crossed here knows the hidden dangers, the terrifying lethal waves, and the winds that never sleep. The roaring 40s and furious 50s in the Southern Ocean, the area between 40 and 50 degrees south latitude, contain nothing but ocean. It is an endless highway for storms that have never set foot on land. Here, there is no wind, only screams. Scientists have confirmed that these roaring winds can reach speeds of 200 to 300 kilometers per hour. Screaming winds mean a screaming sea. Waves in the roaring 40s can reach heights of several dozen meters, even up to 100 meters, striking ships with horrific force. Now we come to the gladiator arena, the Drake Passage. This narrow strip of water between Cape Horn and Antarctica sets a massive flow in motion. Here, the entire Pacific Ocean tries to squeeze through a gap 800 kilometers wide and collides directly with the Atlantic. Add to this the strongest Southern Ocean currents. As far as we know, such chaos has not been seen anywhere else in the Earth's oceans. The Drake Passage doesn't just throw waves at you, it throws walls of water 50 meters high. Ships here are not on the sea, they are on the waves 20 to 50 meters high or more, tossed in every direction like toys. The currents around Antarctica, due to the lack of land to slow the winds, rotate around the Earth at a terrifying speed, creating a jet engine effect. Deadly storms push icebergs kilometers wide and weighing millions of tons around. Before the opening of the Panama Canal in 1914, anyone passing through here witnessed the ocean's horrific behavior and many of these ships sank. The southern routes, the ends of Africa, and the regions of South and Central America are the worst places for navigation. Here we see the true face of the ocean, the true face of nature. These are things that, despite all our progress, GPS weather forecasting, and massive ships, we cannot stop or predict. They show the true face of planet Earth.